It's the end of the year and time to update my top 25 list. If you've been subscribed for a while, you'll know that I did one of these last year, so it'll be really interesting to see how it compares to last time, because I've had quite the busy year. I've been to my closest park, Alton Towers, many times obviously, but I've also been to quite a few other parks this year, including Drayton Manor for my first time in over 15 years, Park Warner Madrid and Parque de Atracciones for the first time, Wallaby Holland for the first time, and I also returned to Florida to visit all of the amazing theme parks there, including Epic Universe for the first time as well. And then I finished out the year with a very festive trip to Phantasialand and Europa Park. I've been busy. I've got a lot of new credits and a lot of rides on my favourites too. So let's see what's changed. Here is my top 25 of 2025. Just a quick note, these are only my opinions. I rank coasters purely on how much I would like to ride them again, and re-rideability and roughness do play a huge part in this. I rank my coasters off of pure personal enjoyment, as I think everybody should, so please let me know your top 25 or top 10 down in the comments. I'd love to hear what yours are. Let's get into it. Just making this list at number 25 is Hals über Kopf at Tripsdrill in Germany. This was the first in a new generation of Vekoma suspended thrill coaster models, and it's fantastic. It provides an incredibly smooth ride with lots of satisfying transitions and some awesome profiling. Very nerdy, I know, but I had a great time riding this and I can't wait to get back on it at some point in the future. And it helps that it's set in one of the most beautiful parks in the world. Number 24, I have The Swarm at Thorpe Park. This was my first ever wing coaster and I absolutely loved my first time riding it. A few years on and it's debatable as whether it's my favourite coaster at Thorpe Park. I love the layout and the theme and its very intense but smooth ride experience. It's got some awesome elements and the near misses are really fun too. Plus I love how it's got its own island as its themed area. It just makes it. It's a great ride. At number 23, it's one of the original thrill machines of Orlando, Kraken, the B&M Flawless Coaster at SeaWorld. I fell in love with this ride's raw intensity when I first rode it in 2016, and it's always remained one of my firm favourites at the park. It may be getting a little bit rough now, but it doesn't take away from the incredible layout. It's one of quite a few B&Ms on this list, and the Flawless Coaster, as you'll probably see, is one of my favourite models. At number 22 is a coaster that's moved up in my rankings very recently, Black Mamba at Phantasialand. After recently riding this in the cold winter weather, I was surprised about how smooth and intense it still was. All the scenery and terrain interaction is fantastic, and the theming of this ride really adds to the experience. I'm a big fan of Nemesis's German sister, and this definitely won't be the last B&M invert on this list. This is going to upset some people, but at number 21 I have Hyperia at Thorpe Park. On opening day, this coaster was in my top 3, and it pains me to say that it's moved down this far, but over the last year or so, it's been riding very badly. I'm excited to ride it next year to see if it's doing any better, because the layout is fantastic. Although it could have done with being a bit longer, it does have, in my opinion, the best first drop in the world. At number 20, it's another B&M with Kumba at Busch Gardens Tampa. While I just missed out on getting a ride on it this year because of its closure, I did get 2 rides on it back in summer of 2022 and absolutely loved it. It's a really intense ride with a great layout and really showcases what early B&M could do. I hope this ride sticks around for a long time because it's still in my top 3 at the park and arguably one of Florida's most important coasters. Staying in Busch Gardens, at number 19 I have Montu, the B&M invert. For its age, this coaster is incredibly smooth, providing an awesome layout and giving some great forces throughout. It's a shame B&M don't make them like they used to, because this ride is insane. It's one of Florida's most iconic coasters, and again, I hope it stays around for a long time. Nothing beats hearing the roar as you approach the coaster, and it just looks insane. Keeping the B&M streak going, at number 18, it's Superman the Attraction of Steel at Park Warner Madrid. When I got to ride this earlier this year, I was incredibly excited for it and it did not disappoint. The layout is really forceful, the coaster is absolutely huge, and it just keeps on going until the end, showcasing all of the best elements that B&M are known for, including some awesome zero gravity on that zero G roll. In the same park and the same manufacturer, at number 17 we have Shadows of Arkham, Park Warner Madrid's B&M invert. This was my first and only Batman clone I've been on and I absolutely loved it. Super smooth, super forceful, and the layout doesn't half pack a punch. I'd heard good things about this layout but didn't expect much with it being a clone model, but I was surprised about how blown away I was. It's an awesome coaster. At number 16 I have the Intamin masterpiece that is Expedition G-Force at Plopsaland Deutschland. This Intamin Mega is a monster and perfectly embodies what the company is best at, creating insane rides. The layout of this coaster is nothing groundbreaking, but the forces it pulls are just mad, especially in the airtime department. You are out of your seat for a good half of this ride and your thighs really feel it. Another controversial one, at number 15, I have Voltron at Europa Park. I have such a love-hate relationship with this Mack Striker. My first ever ride on this was on a rough train on a wing seat, and I was so disappointed. But I went round again and had one of the craziest coaster experiences I've ever had on a smooth train. It's so hit and miss, and it's a shame because the layout is amazing. I just wish it was more consistent. At number 14, I have Conda, the Intamin Mega Coaster at Walibi, Belgium. My first ride on this was a similar experience, and I wasn't really that blown away, but once this thing had warmed up towards the end of the day, like these new gen Intamins tend to do, it was absolutely crazy. Awesome airtime and speed, and some of the transitions are really funky and creative. I want to see more of these coasters in the world, they are so fun. At number 13, I have Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa. This may surprise a few people as well, but I've just ridden so many awesome coasters this year that it's been pushed down. I did get more rides on this on my most recent visit to the park, and it just proves to me how crazy this coaster is. I love it. And the death roll might be one of my favourite elements out there, it's just mad. I just didn't find it to be that much of a re-rideable coaster for me. At number 12, I have Lek at Legendia, another coaster that I was told was going to be a crazy intense ride, but absolutely exceeded my expectations. This thing is crazy. This was Vekoma really experimenting with their newer gen models. It tries to rip your face off with the forces, and I can see why other coasters of this intensity haven't been built, but personally I absolutely love the thing, it's mad. At number 11, I have Hyperion at Energylandia. The scale of this Intamin Hyper is crazy, and it's still to this day the tallest coaster I've ever been on. Although the wing seats are a little bit shuffly, the airtime on this is awesome. And the second half of this coaster is very untraditional, featuring a lot of low to the ground high speed elements, which is so fun. It's one of the most unique hyper coasters out there, and for that I find it awesome. Into the top 10 now, and I have another Intamin, Batman Gotham City Escape at Park Warner Madrid. And this won't be the only Intamin Blitz on this list. It is my favourite ride model after all. This ride is a perfect match of Velocicoaster and Maverick and is so fun, especially in the airtime and speed departments. And I love how this coaster works its way around existing areas of the park. It's just so creative and fun to watch. At number 9, I have Rodin Timber Coaster at Europa Park. This ride is genuinely crazy. I've never felt a coaster feel so out of control before, and I genuinely loved it. It's so fast and violent, but still incredibly smooth. The speed and pacing of this layout is just awesome, and it's relentless from start to finish. The first time I rode it, I was absolutely mind blown. GCI are amazing. At number 8, I have Untamed at Walibi Holland. While this coaster certainly isn't breaking any height or speed records, the layout is awesome. It features some pretty relentless airtime considering the size of the coaster, and some really creative elements making it one of the more unique RMCs. I can think of more than a few similarly scaled wooden coasters that would be crazy with this treatment. Every park deserves its own Untamed. At number 7, we have another Intamin Blitz in this list, Tarrant at Phantasialand. One of the most beautifully themed areas in the world contains this huge sprawling mess of track. I love zooming through the area of Klugheim, and this ride has some amazing transitions that I find really re-rideable. Plus, this year I got my first ever night ride on it, and it was fantastic. And also, this. Possibly my favourite noise ever. Another Intamin Blitz at number 6 is Tutatis at Park Asterix. Like Gotham City Escape, this ride has an awesome layout purely because of the constraints of the area, and that multipass launch with the spike is just amazing. It provides a really smooth and intense ride experience, and features probably my favourite ending to a coaster ever, a really intense inversion followed by some fantastic airtime. An awesome ride. You all knew it was coming at some point. In 5th place, I have Nemesis Reborn at Alton Towers, my favourite B&M invert, and my current favourite coaster in the UK. This ride is just so special to me. I think it's the coaster that got me into coasters in the first place, and I love every single time I ride it. It's just fantastic. This winter season's going to be hard without it, and I can't wait to be reunited in 2026. Just missing out on that top 3 is Zadra at Energylandia, my favourite RMC coaster. This coaster is honestly just insane. It packs so much into its layout, and I vividly remember my first ever time getting off this coaster and just thinking, have I been strapped to a rocket? The airtime, the transitions, the forces, it's just a masterpiece and a coaster that I will always absolutely love. Into the top 3 now, and in 3rd place I have Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland, Belgium. The Mack Extreme Spinner model is just absolutely nuts. The thing I love about it the most is how re-rideable it is. I rode it 9 times on my last trip, and all of the rides were different. It's just an awesome coaster model that I hope we see more of. This is probably the most excited I've ever been before I got on a coaster, and it did not disappoint. I loved it. At number 2, I have Stardust Racers. What an incredible pair of coasters. This thing is just mad. I wasn't blown away by my first ride, but once it had heated up and got a lot quicker in the afternoon, I just absolutely fell in love. Especially with the speed that the green side picks up on the end, and riding this at night was just absolutely magical. I truly fell in love with this ride. And in first place, you all knew it was coming. It's Velocicoaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure, my favourite coaster in the world, the best Intamin Blitz. What an awesome ride from start to finish. This thing pulls some incredible force, this has some beautiful theming, and has probably my favourite coaster element ever, the Mosasaurus roll. And after experiencing my first ever night ride on it this year, it really confirmed this is my favourite coaster in the world. What an absolute masterpiece. Intamin, you've outdone yourselves. And that's it for my top 25. Let me know your top 25, top 10 or top whatever in the comments. I'd love to know. It's been really interesting to see how this list has evolved since the last time I did this video. Can't wait to see what it'll be like at the end of next year with all of the amazing trips I've got ideas for. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.